Hey guys, Mike here. In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts on Maddening so far for Fire Emblem Engage. Right now, I'm about to start Chapter 12, so I guess, Chapter 10 and Chapter 11 are probably going to go down in infamy as being some of the hardest shit I've ever seen in Fire Emblem. I think part of the difficulty is just because we're not used to the new mechanics with the Emblem Engage rings, but chap, I just want to get my thoughts on Maddening so far, and I have to say it is super fun. It is insanely fun. I can't stop playing this. Maddening is just because it's so hard and it's so unfair. I'll take that back a bit. I don't think it's unfair. It's the enemies are definitely tougher, but all of the mechanics are laid out for you, like the mechanics of the engage rings. All the tools are laid out for you. Now, granted, doing Maddening on a first playthrough is quite overwhelming because you have to learn all the mechanics that the game has to offer you. You have to learn how to first of all, you have to be good at calculating, making sure you don't take any chances. Your strategizing is on point. That's one thing, and that you just need experience from other Fire Emblem games. You're not going to get it if you're a brand new player to Fire Emblem. You have to just get those skills, those calculation skills, and those strategizing skills. And the reason you have to do that is because you have only 10 time crystals you can use. So before Chapter 10, I would use only at most 2 time crystals per map, maybe 3 or 4 if I was just playing poorly. But like for the earlier maps, sometimes I wouldn't even. I would use maybe at most 1 time crystal. Now, Chapter 10, I actually used. I want to say I used 8. One, I actually made a mistake, and I made a fat finger, and I just used it for absolutely no reason. I made no mistake. I just accidentally hit A twice, and then I used a time crystal for no reason. So I think I used 7 technically on Chapter 10. And then Chapter 11, you actually lose access to your time crystal for the short beginning part of the map. And that's just nerve-wracking, and that you have to do a hard reset if you lose units and you want to keep them. But eventually you get it back, and then you start to feel a little bit more confident. And I don't think Chapter 11 is as tough as Chapter 10. Now, Chapter 10, people are saying are insane, is insane difficult, and I kind of have to agree. It's pretty hard, because you have to deal with like 3 mini bosses in a tight area, and then you have to deal with the 2 main bosses of the area who charge at you, and that last boss has just so much utility on his side that it's so hard to damage him. Oh yeah, and he naturally has high defense and resistance, so it's so hard to damage him. And he has his minions that are just making it hard on you. So yeah, Chapter 10, it was definitely hard, but like story-wise and gameplay-wise, it was just all so fun. It just all came together, and I'm just having an absolute blast playing Fire Emblem. You'll notice from my Chapter 10 and Chapter 11 videos, my commentary I start to kind of slur my speech a little in my commentaries because I was like, it was morning and I was tired, and I was trying to make commentaries, but yeah, I was just so tired and just trying to power through, and I really wanted to beat Chapter 10 and Chapter 11. I'm glad I did. So going back to what I thought about the mechanics. So the mechanics of Fire Emblem Engage are essentially you have the emblem rings, which provide so much utility and power to a single unit. It really makes them reliable. Like you can take a crappy unit who does absolutely nothing, and just give them an emblem ring so that they can do something, and it gives them immediate utility. And then, but it's a little overwhelming because you have to really study the emblem skills, but they just throw you right into the battle, right? You just have to start using the emblem ring right away, and using the sync skills, and then using the engage abilities. And I typically like to save the engage abilities for the final bosses of the map, because they're just, engage abilities are really nice because you don't get counterattacked, and they have 100% hit rate. And I think honestly, those points right there are the biggest reasons why the engage abilities are so useful, because the avoid rates for enemies on Maddening are much higher and much more relevant. So when you have opportunities to hit them with 100% chance, you're just going to take it. That's such a big boon to your army. Now, the Another thing is we have the break mechanic. I think everybody knows how the break mechanic works with the weapon triangle. But another thing that we got introduced, and I still haven't fully mastered yet, but I'm kind of getting the hang of now, is the heavy weapon smash mechanic, where if you use a heavy weapon like a blade or a great lance or a great axe, then you let the enemy attack you first, even though you engaged on him first, and then if you land your attack, then it will knock them back. And if you knock them back into a wall, it might break them. So I actually haven't tried that yet. I really want to try that. I think that's going to be more relevant, and I still need to get more experience doing that. With that with that smash mechanic. So I still really have to try that. Another thing I haven't really tried much yet is trying to break bows, daggers, and tomes with chi guard units. That's something I still need to try. I feel like I need to master that in order to really help my Maddening playthrough. I've been using Fram as my chi guard unit this whole time, so I think she's all right for now. She's been doing. I can't think of a good replacement right now. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, between every map, I'm actually spending a lot of time just evaluating my army, evaluating my resources, evaluating my incomes, well, my pitiful incomes, and just trying to make sure everyone is ready for the next map. Because like on hard, you can get away with slacking on your inventory management and your prep work, but Maddening, you absolutely cannot slack on those aspects. I would say the prep work and the analyzing the map and strategizing and equipping the right items and stuff, it's probably half of the playthrough. Like, actually playing the map is, yeah, you have to be good in action, but it's just the prep work is also, it can make or break you. Like, if you don't prep well, then you probably might soft lock yourself, or you can't even beat the map at hand. So making sure you stock up on items, making sure you forge your items, that's so important. Because like I think I read somewhere that the stat growths on level ups for units are fixed in Maddening. I'm not sure about that, but if they are, because I've been getting crappy stat level ups, and if that's the case, then that's fine. At least they're fixed. But like, I've just noticed they are very stingy with strength and magic, and that's like the stuff I really need. That raw attack power is so coveted that like, I'm always trying to cook to boost magic and strength before every battle. I'm always putting Alir into the push-up session so he can get more strength at the Somino Castle. Yeah, I really need that magic and that strength. And another, like I said earlier, another way to get that is through forging, and just making sure your weapons are up to snuff, forging and refining your weapons. So I'm always, I always have to make decisions. Okay, what weapon do I really need for the next battle, or what weapon, or who really needs a stronger weapon? Who's really lacking in attack, or who's the weakest link in my army right now that I really need to beef up their weapon and get it to like +1, +2, +3, just so they can do damage and do it consistently. Speaking of damage, like, Chloe has been consistently falling behind. I think I gave her an upgraded steel lance, and it's just, she's still falling behind. That's another thing too. Like, if units are falling behind, I'm not afraid to drop them. They're not contributing. If their stat growths are not good enough, then it's a shame, but you kind of have to drop them. And that's what I think makes Maddening so fun, because you have to, it's kind of forcing you to use different units, right? So like, the game gives you 2 archers, and I'm sure on hard mode it's not a big deal that you can just use both of them if you wanted, or you can pick either one. But Maddening, you really have to pick. If my first archer is falling behind, for example, then I'm probably gonna have to replace her with or replace him or her with the next archer that they give me. And usually those units are a little bit stronger, like they're at a higher level when they join you. So it gives you even more incentive to use the new units that you get, rather than traditional Fire Emblem hard mode, where you can even just take your first few units that you started with and just grow them into juggernauts. In Maddening, I think with the shitty growth rates and the way the unit's been growing, I think that's not the case. They really want you to utilize the units that come into your army, and there's gonna be quite a lot. So that's a saving grace. Like, if you don't get good level ups, then you can just replace them. There's no wrong with replacing them. You can just take their inventory from your old units and just put it on your new units. And now that you have forged weapons, the forged weapons can also move to your new units and, you know, have immediate utility and use and put it to good use. So it's not the end of the world, I think. It's just the rate at which my units are falling off are so crazy that it's making me a little worried. But, you know, we're here. We're on chapter 12 now. We're having a blast. And I couldn't ask more for a Fire Emblem. This is just so fun. The story is fine, and it's adding to the gameplay a little, but the gameplay is so fun right now. You have to try Maddening if you've never tried it. And I'll probably put out more videos on how to get into Maddening if you're just used to playing Card Classic, and even casual. Maybe you could learn something if you're an easy casual player. So anyways, I'm just having so much fun. I just wanted to give you guys my update on Maddening, and look forward to more. Oh, subscribe if you want to see my whole playthrough. I'm uploading all of my whole first playthrough of Maddening. I already uploaded chapter 7. Right now I'm on chapter 12, obviously, but it just takes so much time to upload the videos to YouTube. It takes like 6 hours for you to upload, and then to have to process it, and then have to process it in HD. So that's why it takes a while for them to appear on YouTube. But just as a quick update, I'm on chapter 12, and we just got past infamous chapter 10 and 11. And that's pretty much it for this video. And subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and thanks for watching.